You've been there, right? You have this brilliant, game-changing idea about the future, but when you try to explain it, people's eyes just glaze over. You know it's huge, but how do you get them to feel that same excitement? Well, today, we're going to break down a blueprint for doing exactly that, turning those super complex ideas into stories about the future that actually inspire people.
And that's the big question, isn't it? How do you explain the future? I mean, how do you take something really complex and forward-looking and make it not just something people get, but something they get excited about? How do you talk about what's coming next without just burying everyone in jargon? It feels like a massive challenge, but believe it or not, there's a surprisingly elegant solution. Okay, so let's get into the challenge of explaining all this stuff. The thing is, when you start talking about big topics like, say, artificial intelligence or quantum computing, well, it can be totally overwhelming, right? And if you just throw a bunch of facts and figures at people, yeah, it's accurate, but it's not going to light a fire in anyone's imagination. It doesn't make them believe in the future you're trying to build.
Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? The goal is not just to inform. It is to inspire. You don't want people to just nod and say, uh-huh. You want them to feel that spark. You want them to see the same amazing potential that you do. And to do that, you need more than just information. You need a story. You need a structure. And guess what? We're about to break down exactly how you build one.
All right, let's get into the good stuff. So, the blueprint for impact. Now, where did we find this magic formula? Well, it actually comes from a pretty cool place, a professional script used to explain machine learning. But what's amazing is that this structure isn't just for ML. It's a universal 7-step guide you can use for telling any kind of impactful story about innovation.
Okay, so here it is, the blueprint. You've got the hook, introduction, explanation, comparison, examples, transformation, and the closing. Now, the magic here is in the flow. It's not just a list, it's a journey. You're literally taking your audience from huh to I get it and all the way to wow. Each step builds perfectly on the one before it, creating a story that makes sense and, more importantly, makes you feel something. So let's see how this actually works.
All right, so building understanding. This is the foundation. Before you can jump into all the exciting, world-changing stuff, you got to make sure everyone's on the same page. You can't build a skyscraper on shaky ground, right? So this is where we lay the groundwork, and that's all about steps 3 and 4. Step 3 is the explanation, and this is so important. It's all about defining the core idea as simply and clearly as you possibly can. No jargon, no getting lost in the weeds. If we're talking about machine learning, for example, you just start with one simple sentence explaining what it is. That's it. This puts everyone, no matter what they know, at the same starting line.
Okay, so after you've explained what it is, you need to anchor it. That's step 4, comparison. This is where you connect your new big idea to something people already understand. It's like building a bridge. The script does this perfectly by putting traditional programming, which follows strict, explicit instructions, right next to machine learning, which actually learns from data. That contrast, it's the light bulb moment. It just makes the whole thing click.
All right, so everyone gets the basic idea. Great. But now comes the most important question of all. So what, right? This next part is all about connecting with reality. You have to pull the concept out of the clouds of theory and plant it firmly on the ground. This is where your story goes from being interesting to being truly important.
And how do you do that? With step 5, real-world examples. This is where the abstract idea becomes totally concrete. You use examples people know and can relate to. So for machine learning, you're not talking about algorithms. You're talking about personalized recommendations on Netflix, or the voice assistant on their phone, or even huge breakthroughs in medical diagnostics. You're showing them how it's already a part of their world.
And then comes step 6, the transformation. This is the moment you zoom all the way out. You've shown them the what and the how, and now you show them the wow. You explain why this matters on a massive scale. It's not just another update or a new tool. No, this is a revolution. It's a fundamental shift in how we do things. So when you put it all together, you can really see what's happening here. This isn't just a list of steps for dumping information on someone. It's a carefully designed narrative of the future. It's a path that you lead your audience down, taking them from a place of, I don't get it, to a place of genuine excitement for what's to come. And that quote says it all, really. Structure transforms information into inspiration. If you remember one thing, let it be that. This deliberate 7-step journey is the secret sauce. It's the structure that takes a pile of dry facts and turns it into real, genuine inspiration. You're not just building knowledge, you're building a sense of wonder. So that's the blueprint. And it's not just for explaining tech, it's for any big, passionate idea you have. So now the question isn't just how do you explain the future? The real question is, what future will you explain? What incredible innovation are you going to bring to life? Because the next great story about what's coming, well, that one's all yours to tell.